we are going to start this new video tutorial series on Power BI. Okay, obviously, which is a business intelligence tool, which is used for data analysis, reporting, data visualization, right? Or better, we can say to understand the insights within your data, right? So it's like, suppose if you have a very huge data, right? Data size is very large, right? And we have to understand what actually existing within it, right? So it's like analysis is very important. So there are a lot of ways through which we can analyze, okay, like Tableau, Power BI, through programming also, like Python, R programming. So one of the thing that we are going to use in this video tutorial series, which is Power BI, and try to understand how it is basically important in the business intelligence, or you can say to make a data driven decision. Okay, because nowadays all the decisions are basically what data driven, right? So to be more accurate, precise, or to be more kind of profitable, okay, businesses used to make a decision through data, right? So in those aspects, how Power BI is going to help. So Power BI basically is having two things, okay? Like there are two ways we use Power BI. One that you can see right here on my screen, which is called Power BI Desktop, right? And another is your what? It's like the Power BI, the online tool that you can say, right? So here it is that you can access through app.powerbi.com. Now if we say that thing, so we basically use Power BI in two ways. One is Power BI desktop, other is Power BI service. Okay, that also we can say Power BI online. Okay, so what is the purpose of it? Okay, both are having their own purpose. Okay, it's not like that if you can't use desktop you can use online, or you can't use online then you can use desktop. No, both are having their specific use cases. Like you can see over here, Power BI desktop is used for what? For creating data models, transforming the data, analyzing the data right into your system. Okay, it requires a Windows OS to run. Okay, there are so many things that we do, like data connectivity. If data is from different resources, we can make a connection between them. We can use data modeling, okay, to understand the relationship between the data. We can report, we can build up the report, we can do the analytics. Okay, so these are the things basically we can do, typically used by data analysis and report developers to create and refine Power BI reports. That is what I told. And Power BI service or online is used for what? For report sharing or whatever that you create. Like suppose you're working in a team. Okay, in your team there are 5 members are there, right? So all of them want to kind of kind of coordinate with each other. Okay, and create something. So ultimately, it will be used for sharing your report or whatever the things that you did. Okay, sharing, collaboration, these things will be done. Okay, obviously it requires licensing. For basic things you can use free of cost. I'll tell you how can we use it. Yeah, but for high-end use cases we require some license. Okay, the basic functionalities are there which are free, so we'll see that part as well. So as of now, initially we will start with what? This is what? Power BI service, right? That you can access to app.powerbi.com. Okay, and this is what? Power BI desktop. Now, if we are starting with Power BI, you need installation. How can you install? For installation, go to your store, right? And on Microsoft Store, you can just search for what? Power BI. All right. So when you search for Power BI, you can just install right from it. Please don't install from any other resources, right? So that, okay, like if you search for Power BI, I'll get it over here and you can, right now it is already installed. If it is not, you can install, right? So once it is installed, we have to start working on it. So in this particular video, I will tell you how can we just access our data that we are having, okay? And we'll create a very basic kind of report, all right? So to access our data, we have an option over here, get data. Okay, so when you click on get data, we have different options over here, Excel workbook, 17 models, data flow. So these things we'll see one by one. Okay, let's just start from the first thing. Like, overall, if your data is from any sources, like anywhere, okay, SQL or so many other resources are there, so many other data types are there, okay, that this Power BI supports. Okay, so let's start. We are a beginner, so we just start with the very basic, that is Excel. Right. So when I click on Excel, I go to the desktop where I stored my data. I'll share the link of this data with the description. You can access it, right? So now I'll click on this data and I'll open this up. So when I open this up, okay, it will show me an option of load and transform. Okay, the first step that we did is what? Data open, that is data extraction. Once the data extraction is done, then it will ask me to transform and load. Okay, transform we do if I want to make some changes in the data. Okay, like for example, if I click on transform data, so if you see, it will launch a new table. Okay, it will give me a total new data, or you can total new, window. You can see this is a separate window. Okay, this is a separate window which is called transform window. In the transform window we had been given a data over here. Transform means what? Make changes. Okay, whatever the change are required, like order id, product name, these all things are there. Right now let's say I want to make what change I can do. Let's see, let's try to make a change in data type. Quantity is numeric. It should be numeric because I have to do some, like suppose I have to sum up the quantity, how many total quantities are there, or I have to find out the average quantity, product cost, selling price. This should be numeric because numeric calculations may require. Product state and product, these are ABC, that means character. They can be character. Product ID is what? See, ID is something which we need not to kind of a sum up. It's not like that ID will sum up. Okay, let's sum up all the ID or take the average of ID. Average of ID make no sense, right? So it's like we can make the changes, right? Like for example, I can just click here and I get the option of making the change. Okay, suppose I want it to be text. So I can click over here, Rajat, because obviously I can't make it, I can make it decimal, but decimal again a numeric thing, fixed decimal number, whole number, percentage. But out of this whole thing, this makes some sense. Okay, this can be a text. So when I click over it, it will ask me to replace current or add a new. Obviously, I'll try to replace. So when I replace it, you can see it has been recorded over here as a change tag. Okay, so now I replace order ID with character. Same thing. Let's say replace this thing as well. Text. Okay, done. So basically, what are we doing? We're just trying to change the type, like as a part of transform, right? So in the transform, we basically do a lot of things. Like we have to fix the missing values. We have to change the data type, remove a specific row, remove a specific column. Ultimately, whatever the change we want to do, we do here, we do in transform. And once the transformation is done, we'll see more in transformation in upcoming sessions, right? Okay, so once the transformation is done, I can't close over here. You should not close from here, close from here. Close and apply. It will apply your changes into your data, right? And thereafter you can load it, right? So now it's being loaded over here. It will take some time to get loaded. Let's wait for just a few seconds because we just transfer. So this process is called ETL, extract, transform, and load. Okay, what it is called? Extract, transform, and load, right? So now my data is loaded over here. Okay. Okay. So how can we view this data? See, here we have a report. Here we have a table view. If I click on table view, I can see my data over here. Okay. It is taking time to get update over here, but no worry. Sometimes it tag. Okay, fine, no worry. Here it should be appeared. This field is visible. Why it is not getting visible? No worry. Let's try to do over here. Let's say I'll take order ID. Okay, so you can see my order ID will be appeared over there. Okay, here also it will show. Okay, it may take some time to update, but we can click here later on as well. Here all the tables will be visible. As of now, it may be taking in the background, some process may be going on, so we can see this later on as well. As of now, if you can see, if I click on order ID appeared over here. If I click on product, product is appeared, product cost appeared. Okay, all the things that are there, I can see it over here. All right. Now you may think it's looking little small. I want little, it should be larger. So to make this thing larger, what can you do? See, here we have an option of, if you see here, this is what, when I just click it, these things are added in the columns. Nice. These things are basically added in the columns. And this is what? Format your visuals. To format your visuals, you can click here and a lot of things that you can do. Okay. Like for example, style preset to change the style over here. It is a default style. Some other style we want like minimal. Okay. Or I want over here bold header. Okay. So it's like bold header. Header will get bold, right? Thereafter, we have over here grid. Okay, grid color you can set. Okay, width you can increase or decrease. Okay, whatever the grid we have, right? So that you can, things can be better visible. Or if you want horizontal grid on or off, you can set it, right? So from here, which is called format your visuals, you can format a lot of things. Okay, thereafter we have what? Okay, vertical grid line you want or not. Okay, I want vertical grid line, you can make it. You can increase the width of vertical grid line as well. Borders, what you want to set. right? Like you want top border, bottom border, and set the color of border, right? Here, let's say I increase the width over here. Let's say I'll give it everything top, bottom, okay, left, right. All the borders are given, okay, and we can set the color of this border as well, okay, whatever the colors we want, and can set the width of it, okay, fine, okay. This is what we did, right? So whatever looks good, okay, as of now it's not kind of looking that good. Okay, let me make it. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, now we set the borders over here, right? Then we have options, row padding, and we can increase. Padding means what? A space between the text and the row. Okay, global font size you can increase or decrease. Okay, so that you can see this thing better. All right. So I just increase this thing if the things are not visible properly. All right. So according to your need, you can just change it. All right. So now if you see, we did it, right? So thereafter we have the next thing we have. So this is what about the grid thing. Okay. Then we have over here the values properties. So values properties can set the text color, isn't it? So whatever the background color, let's say I set the background color over here black. Okay. Fine. And then text color I'll set over here for those guys as white. Okay, so you can just make these modifications, alternate text color. Okay, alternate text color, what you want. Let's say alternate text color is also white. Okay, and background color is, let's say I'm making it a little gray. All right, so this is how you can set the properties of it. Looking good, right? I can just increase this thing, right? And thereafter we have what? So this is a value, and then value size also we can increase font size. Okay, you can see. So from here also you can increase the font size. All good. Okay, and here you can just scroll down or scroll up over here from here, right? So it's like we are just viewing the data as of now. Okay, same way we have other properties, column headers, and other properties also that we will set. So we'll see these things one by one, right, in more details. Okay, I'm just giving you overview of it, like what we had discussed in this particular video. The first thing, what is Power BI desktop? What is Power BI service? Okay, how can we get the data right from here? Okay, and once we get the data, okay, we will get over here kind of extract data. Thereafter we get option of transform, where we can make some changes at the very initial stage in the data using transform. After transform, data will get loaded, that is called ETL process. And once the data is loaded, we will get over here, the first option is report view. In the report view, we basically see like what kind of report we want to create. Here we just created a simple report, which is a table report, like it's just like looking everything in a table form. Okay, from the right hand side, we can pick whichever column I want to use, whichever I don't want to use. Next, we have a table view. By clicking on the table view, you will get all the table details over here. Right now, it is not showing. There can be some updates which is required, or I may need to restart this particular software. Sometimes it happens that things don't get updates, but ultimately it is working. It's not like it is not working. We can also do what? We can click on refresh over here just to check if things gets work. Okay, so I just clicked on refresh. Now let's see if it is working. Still, it is not showing the things, but no worry. Okay, it should show, but it is not getting visible. Okay, but no worry, we will just next time when we access the table, it will show the things. Next, we have a model view. In the model view, we create a data relation, but here there is only one data, so there is no more, there is no need of model view. DAX operation will write some query and all. Okay, that we'll see in the upcoming classes. How can we write the DAX operation? So these are the things we had seen. Thereafter, we had seen after fetching of the data, how can we set the properties over here, that okay, the you can say font size and other things, right? And thereafter, these top things are the top panel are used for different purpose that we will kind of explore in further session, like get data, Excel workbook, SQL server, transform data. Right from here also you can transform. Suppose you had not transformed there, you can just transform from here as well. Let's see, again I'll click the transform, right? Suppose at the initial stage you had not transformed, so you can also transform from here. Okay, and then after transformation you can close it. Okay, so this is how things actually works in it, right? So in the next session, we'll try to plot some visuals like column chart and other chart. We'll start with the column chart. So stay tuned. Okay. like kind of for this is it for the first video in the series. Okay, and just stay tuned for the next video that is on the column chart. Thank you everyone. Take care. Have a great day ahead.